I don't think people understand just how much technology shapes our world. Few can deny the influence of companies like Google, Amazon, Apple, and Facebook. They dominate the digital landscape, connecting billions globally and wielding immense economic power. This dominance has sparked intense debate. Are these tech giants too big? Should they be broken up? The answers are complex and require a deep dive into the history and evolution of antitrust law. Welcome to Entrepreneurial Edge. If you enjoy our content, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more insights. The roots of antitrust law lie in the post-Civil War period. The U.S. experienced rapid industrial growth. Massive corporations, often called trusts, emerged. These trusts, like John D. Rockefeller's Standard Oil, used their size to control markets and stifle competition. This period, known as the Gilded Age, saw a public outcry against the unchecked power of monopolies. In response to public pressure, Congress passed the Sherman Antitrust Act in 1890. This landmark legislation aimed to curb the power of monopolies by prohibiting any contract, combination, or conspiracy in restraint of trade. The Sherman Act became a powerful tool for the government to challenge anti-competitive practices. One of its most famous applications was the 1911 breakup of Standard Oil. The company was deemed a monopoly and divided into smaller entities. This case set a precedent for future antitrust actions. For much of the 20th century, the Sherman Act remained a potent weapon against monopolies. However, the late 20th century saw a shift in antitrust philosophy. The Reagan administration ushered in an era focused on consumer welfare. Under this approach, antitrust enforcement became less concerned with the size of companies. Instead, the focus shifted to whether consumers were harmed by a company's practices. This shift had a profound impact on how antitrust laws are applied, especially in the digital age. Big tech under scrutiny. Applying the law. The rise of big tech has tested the limits of antitrust law. Critics argue that these companies stifle innovation, exploit consumer data, and engage in anti-competitive behavior. Let's analyze each company individually. Google, the search giant. Google dominates the search engine market with a staggering share. However, its dominance alone doesn't make it a monopoly under current law. Critics argue that Google leverages its search dominance to favor its own products and search results, potentially harming competition. However, Google maintains that its actions benefit consumers by providing more relevant search results. Amazon, the e-commerce behemoth. Amazon controls a significant portion of the e-commerce market. Critics accuse Amazon of predatory pricing and using its power over suppliers to stifle competition. However, Amazon argues that its business model benefits consumers through lower prices and increased convenience. They claim that their vast selection and competitive pricing ultimately benefit the consumer. Apple, the walled garden. Apple's tight control over its App Store has attracted antitrust scrutiny. Critics argue that Apple's fees and restrictions on app developers stifle innovation and harm consumers. They claim that Apple's practices limit consumer choice and drive up prices. Apple, on the other hand, argues that its App Store policies are designed to ensure user privacy and security. Facebook, the social media giant. Facebook's acquisition of Instagram and WhatsApp has raised antitrust concerns. Critics argue that these acquisitions eliminated potential competitors and solidified Facebook's dominance in social media. Facebook, in its defense, argues that these acquisitions allowed them to innovate and offer better services to users. Durable market power, the Litmus Test. To successfully argue for the breakup of big tech, regulators would need to prove that these companies possess durable market power. This legal standard requires demonstrating that a company can maintain its dominant position over time, even without engaging in anti-competitive behavior. Proving durable market power in the rapidly evolving tech industry is incredibly challenging. The Entrepreneurial Edge. Did you know that Alan Wong, a prominent tech entrepreneur, started his journey by selling homemade websites in high school? This anecdote underscores a crucial point. The tech landscape is dynamic and unpredictable. new players can emerge, innovate, and disrupt the status quo. This constant churn makes it difficult to argue that any tech giant possesses unassailable market dominance. The future of big tech, unlikely breakups. While big tech faces intense scrutiny and potential regulation, their breakup under current antitrust laws seems unlikely. The consumer welfare standard, the difficulty in proving durable market power, and the dynamic nature of the tech industry all pose significant hurdles. However, the debate is far from over. Public pressure, political will, and evolving legal interpretations could reshape the future of antitrust law and, by extension, the fate of big tech. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this analysis, please like the video and subscribe to the Entrepreneurial Edge channel for more insightful content on the ever-evolving world of tech and antitrust.